We are live.
You're not.
Hello, everyone out there in internet land. We are back again for our Tuesday night show. The cool thing is, this is the series that we're going to be playing for a while. So, welcome to the Dark Forest. So, shout out to Magpie Games for putting this into the universe, for one. Root. It's a Powered by the Apocalypse game and super fun. We did play it once as kind of a one-shot deal, but we loved it so much that we are going to play it again and again and again and again until, you know, the wheels fall off. What would they say? No, we're animals. So until the legs fall off. No, we don't want to do that. All right.
Whiskers?
Whiskers. Do we all have whiskers? We will find out.
Our tails.
Yeah, we will find. What if we don't have tails? We don't know. We don't even know these characters yet. But guess what? We're gonna get to know them up close and personal. So let's give this over to our amazing storyteller, Michael Panish, and it is all you, sir.
Hello and welcome to the Dark Forest, a fantastical tale of woodland creatures. My name is Michael Panish, and this is the game that we're going to be running at Time to Tabletop Tuesdays for the next, quite a few sessions, I think. It's going to be a wonderful, full-on, furry creature adventure using the RPG Root, a game of woodland might by Magpie Press. We're big fans of Root, and this is... I think it's still not quite available for purchase yet. I backed the Kickstarter, so I got kind of a sneak peek of the finished product, but there certainly is a finished product available. And there's a quick start available that they released last year. I guarantee there's going to be a lot more Root products coming, which I'm very happy to see. So we'll get into it in just a moment to begin using that game to tell some amazing stories. But first, let's meet our players. I'm very happy to be joined by them. Very lucky that we got some, the games of Panish veterans returning for the Dark Forest. So go ahead and tell me who you are, maybe some of your previous credits with the Time to Tabletop or in the role-playing world, and what kind of character you are playing this time. Then we'll do a little bit of introduction. We'll have maybe a more specific in-game introduction to your characters, and we'll talk about the relationships between them. Let's start with Patrick.
Oh, hello. I'm Patrick. I've been, the occasional appearance, sometimes for longer games, sometimes just for shorter snippets on this channel. And I'm currently playing Kiva, the Crow, a scoundrel that wears a feathered hood and plague doctor's mask that sort of resembles a giant oversized crow, but is actually underneath a little cute Arctic hare.
The rabbit just as a crow.
Indeed.
Very cool. We are also joined by Marvin.
Well, hey, I'm Marvin. I'm usually on the Tuesday streams. I was there when we were doing our Generation Hero games, and those were really fun. And I'm basically just been like a regular presence on the Tuesday games. Not always, but I try to make most of them. For this game in particular, I'm playing Seamus Opossum. He was actually the character I played the last time we did the Dark Force series. He was a vagrant back then, but now he's gone upon a bit of a cynical path. He's a raider now, but still trying to do the right thing. Not always, but he's trying.
I'm very eager to see the transformation of Seamus Opossum. And, I'll talk about it a little bit later after we introduce some of our other characters. So, after Marvin, I would like... Let's meet another Time of Tabletop veteran. It is Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I've been here since the first live stream. Maybe the second, because I was in the second batch of character creation, but yeah, I've been on Time to Tabletop for a while. I've moved 3 times since I was first on this show. Nope, 4. Yeah, I'm a vagrant. Anyway, yeah. So I DM. I play PCs on occasion. I don't always play furries, but when I do, it seems to always get broadcast. At any rate, in this particular game, I am playing Yana Winterborn, who is going by Lady Jessica Fox. She is an exile from the Winterborn dynasty or empire. I forget which of the 2 it's called. And I played her mother in the last game, who was named Yasmin Winterborn, aka the fantastic Mrs. Fox. And, you know, unlike her mother, Yana is not happy to just be a commoner. She wants her empire back. The empire that she never ruled, but she's pretty sure she would do a really good job at, using the exile playbook. And right now she's kind of made herself to be this kind of like Scarlet Pimpernel kind of character of like valiant swashbuckler, and just sort of self-mythologizing and getting enough of a reputation that maybe people take her seriously, and maybe someday she'll be able to raise an army and take back her homeland. Oh my gosh, that's too much talking. But at any rate, here I am playing Root. You're welcome, America. And other places that might be watching.
Very cool. I just had to say, thank you, Kat, for going all out with that fantastic fox, Arctic fox accoutrement that you are sporting there. We are also joined by another person who I'm very happy to come back for Dark Forest. It is Nick.
Evening, everyone. Today I am, today and every other day I am Nick. And been around since the Mask days, I believe. The Mask days. Pretty much. There's only been a few times where I've missed a week, I'm pretty sure. Or at least, so I came on. And today, and my words are failing. Woo! Gotta love it. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Finn Cardew. He's a raconteur, a teller of tales, and a player of the lute, performer, and bird about town, I guess you could say. Yes. I don't normally play high charisma characters, but well, this goes.
I'm very eager to see this bird in action. Though, Nick, I think we're still getting a little bit of echo on your voice. Is that
okay? I'm not really sure about that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it's just a general connection issue, and I don't think you can do a lot about it.
Okay, we'll power through. No worries there. And I should
Kind of
say,
cool, though.
That sound pretty cool. And I should say that the Raider, who Marvin is playing, the Exile that Kat is playing, and the Raconteur that Finn is playing are all characters from Travelers and Outsiders, which is the sort of expansion to Root. So these are all like kind of new classes introduced besides the main ones, like the Scoundrel that Patrick is playing. And some new factions are in there too. So if you enjoy Root, definitely check out Travelers and Outsiders as well. Though I should say, those wonderful factions, as well as the normal factions of Root, will not be appearing in this game. This is a home-brewed campaign setting, the Dark Forest, which is based tangentially on Eastern European history and folklore of indeterminate time period. And it's based as much as popular culture portrayals of that time period as the time period itself. So please do not look for historical accuracy. I mean, they are woodland creatures as well, but I'm sure if you're a student of history, you'll notice certain similarities between factions, organizations, and so on. that appear here. But and just be aware that I'm not a historian. I'm sure I'm getting stuff wrong. They're all furry creatures. Let's leave it at that. All right, so I'm going to read a real quick introduction to the world of the Dark Forest, and then we'll introduce our characters and talk about how they know each other. Welcome to the Dark Forest, a land of fathomless woods and ancient mystery, of profound beauty and endless cruelty. A land with the misfortune to be at the crossroads of empire. To the east lies the Winterborn Dominion, sprawling, proud, and now with a new Tsarina on the throne, who is as cold as she is ambitious. To the west is the Grand Sable Empire, decadent, decaying, and led by an aging emperor. In the past, they've gone to war many times and turned the Dark Forest into a battlefield. But for now, and for no one knows how long, there is peace. One of those peaceful communities is where we join our heroes. The small village of Barley Brook. Located in a clearing surrounded by wooded hills, Barley Brook's little marketplace gives the local smallholders a chance to sell their wares. Carrots and potatoes still stinking of the soil. Apple pies with the occasional dash of rich cinnamon. And a plethora of colorful puppets clicking and dancing, the amusement of pups and cubs. As a cold autumn wind rustles through Barley Brook, our heroes arrive. So, maybe we'll start, we'll kind of go the other way. Finn, let's start with you.
Sure.
So, maybe talk a little bit about how your character looks, how they're carrying themselves, their general vibe. And then you can maybe talk, if you have some ideas about how to answer the relationship questions, something that Root does, and a few other Powered by the Apocalypse games do this, where you have kind of like pre-built in relationships, because all you guys, you're not strangers, you know each other, and this sort of tells you how. So maybe start with what does Finn look like, and how is he carrying himself as he enters this marketplace?
So Finn is a bird with sort of very dark red feathers. He's modeled after the red-breasted. Wow, I should know this. Ha 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 ha.
I think it's Rosefinch, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the dark-breasted rosefinch. Sorry.
Right.
Yes. Which is apparently one of the many songs out there, so I thought that was appropriate. Since he is a performer, or a singer and player of the lute, his
Singing songbird.
yes. His attire is somewhat haphazard, in that it sort of looked like he just threw together as he woke up, kind of a deal. But his sort of like, he does have sort of like a full cloak, but like maybe like a half cloak that every once in a while will like pull about him, extra flair.
Oh, you gotta have a dramatically billowing cloak.
Of course. yeah. And his lute is it's pretty fancy. It's got a lot of like filigree and like I don't know how, again, words escaping me. I apologize. But it looks fancy. It's got a little bit of wear and tear, but it's definitely one of his more precious items. So, and his sort of like, he's definitely a very passionate in his performing and in life in general. He's always looking for sort of the next adventure that he can possibly write down and make into a song or a story. So that's sort of one of the main reasons why he's out and out, is find the next story that he can, whether it's through finding a person to write about, or just sort of writing about his own adventures.
Absolutely. Very cool. I think we got a cool character here. let's talk about your. They're called your connections. So, of these other three, I mean, I guess you've heard a little bit about them. Who do you think is your friend?
So, under my friend is this person, and I still talk about the time that we were run out of a clearing, even though we thought our adventures would lead powers to treat us as heroes. Even though it treats us as heroes. I mean that sounds like our little arsonist friend to me. I'm blanking on the pronunciation of her name.
It's Kiva.
Eva. Okay.
Yeah.
I will try and write it down somewhere.
Just the easiest pronunciation is KE-VA. It's very fun spelling.
Yeah.
So you and Kiva have gotten out of some past scrapes together. I love it.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Finn. What about your family?
My family.
Never turn your back on them, as they say.
Yes. So person and I have been through battles, ruined elves, heist, and more together. So before it does have each of these connections have ways that I can elaborate on this stuff. So I guess we can come back to the friend thing and how I can, because it also asks like what did we do and how did it go wrong, kind of a thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you're right. We should answer that now, I think.
Yeah. So
you and Patrick, I think, can talk this over. How did what mayhem did Kiva and Finn get up to?
I think Kiva probably started it.
Okay.
You just happened to kind of be along for the ride and just were very unprepared for the chaos that is Kiva.
Right. Well, yeah, I do have like a fun thing where I do form, and through it, people get bonuses to different things. So I think you came up to me with like this elaborate plan to like that would make it seem like we're heroes among the denizens, but it went totally wrong. I was like, okay, yeah, I'll cause this distraction, and in the meantime, you can do what you do, and you never told me what it was that you did, and all of a sudden there's flames everywhere, and I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah, that's probably accurate.
We all have that one friend, am I right?
Yeah. It was probably involving some sort of like sabotaging of either the Grand Sable Empire or the Dominion, to sort of trying to. We thought it'd be a good idea to keep them out of the Dark Force. We tried to do something.
Yeah, I think
audacious.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my background, it does say that I am sort of like I have a affinity for the Grand Sable Empire, so maybe that was the reason that I have this special element.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Okay, so let's move on to family.
Yes. So, someone who I've been through battles, ruins, heists, and more. That's a hard question. It's a hard one to think about.
Yeah, I mean it's all right if I think everybody's gonna be bound together by these connections, so you will all know each other, even if you don't have an outright connection with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It does have some gameplay benefits, though.
It's true.
Would you think?
I think like maybe Seamus, like I had heard about Seamus from a few stories, or from like some of the things that he did in his past, and I sort of lied to him as sort of like, oh, maybe I can have some fun and make my own stories with him. And so we went on all these different heists and things.
I like that.
So it's every good raider band needs a bard.
He sort of goes around singing tales of your epic battles, your victories.
Yeah, wouldn't that be grand, Finn? We do all of these sites, and then you spread the word out to the denizens.
Mm.
Actually,
Okay,
get
so,
them
yeah.
or something.
So, yeah, one of the questions, the first question that's associated with it is which particular incident made us close? Also, and the other question is how to make it famous. Well, obviously, I'd spread the story everywhere. That's sort of how I made it famous. So,
Made the award-winning song about it, but what was the incident, you guys? And James had this too, I think. If
yeah, feel free to jump in.
what legendary feats did you pull off here that got the great song made about?
Perhaps we pulled a daring burglary. I can't pronounce the word. Sorry. A daring theft on one of the Empire's outhouses or something like that.
Well, don't rob an outhouse. The outpost, you mean, maybe?
Outpost.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You don't know what was in that outhouse.
To be honest, it would be a very shitty tale.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sure I could spice it.
All right, you guys want to have you robbed an outhouse?
No.
You never know. There might be something buried under there.
Maybe it.
No, I think they
wait,
very
maybe that
much
was our
should have
entry
robbed
point.
an outhouse, for certain.
Okay, I
Maybe.
think we're doing this. You guys robbed an outhouse, and somehow, hey, you know, like the song says,
I thought it was sort of like no. I like the idea that the outhouse was our entry point. Like somehow like the outhouse like connected to this series of tunnels, and like
yeah, that makes way more sense.
Much grander.
Yeah,
Nobody would look in there. So yes,
came up from the shit house and to a grand
I love it. We have sort of a Turpin Hero style song about Seamus. You know that one.
Then when you put this in the song, just don't mention this part. We found a tunnel. Don't even mention the outhouse, please.
I love it.
Oh, we just rose from the ground. And who needs to know where from?
Very cool, Finn. All right, so let's move on. We're still kind of going backwards. Let's talk about Lady Fox's connections.
Okay.
So, speaking by the Exile playbook.
Yeah.
Which,
we just jump into connections. Did you want me to describe entering the market?
Yes, please.
We'll do the connections.
Yeah. What's your character's kind of appearance and general vibe as they're strolling through this small town marketplace?
It's important to always make a good impression. So I do like to dress in the finery of my people, although that does result in antagonism from a good number of both the denizens of the forest as well as the Winterborn, who don't think I should be wearing this business. However, it is mine. It is not my aunt's. She was not next in the line of succession. I was, well, my brother technically should have been, but then me. Well, traditionally males aren't really, I mean, a male monarchy is ridiculous. Anyway, so yes. So I do kind of sweep in my own particular flashy way. Everybody should know who I am. And if not, well, I will pretend at modesty, but if somebody does happen to recognize me, then, well, I suppose it behooves me to give them an autograph or various other sort of trinket, you know, like you do. I mean, I have been liberating various things around this land. I'm not some sort of simple petty thief, after all. I fight for the people.
Of course. All right.
Some people say this is a peacetime, but I say that people aren't recognizing the war that they are in.
A good point.
Makes it more acceptable when I actually start a war.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see what happens there. Let's talk about your connections.
Sure.
So one of them is a protector. In this case, it's you're protecting them.
Yes. And I would say that I do see greatness in Kiva.
Okay.
Yes, I wish to nurture it. I think that she has a great many talents, but her energy is not directed as of yet.
And all over the place.
It's a little all over the place. And obviously, I have to look out for anybody from my home country. So what is it about me that inspires me? So is your character technically clever, or is your character technically not? I don't know.
I mean, I won't say she's clever. She's just like incredibly lucky. Her plans just kind of work out. They're not good plans by whatsoever.
I guess I think that what inspires me so is that she really will get herself in a bit of a pickle, and yet always manages to get through it. Now, of course, a good number of the times that she's got through it is because I have stood in front of the blow that was meant for her. But, you know,
yeah.
As my mother used to say, potato. She didn't really quite understand the expression. But that is what comes from the Protector, is if I take a blow, if Lady Fox takes a blow meant for Kiva, Lady Fox gets +1 ongoing to weapon moves for the rest of the scene. So there was a little bit of planning on that, and that I think that Kiva is likely to get attacked.
Yeah, I kind of draw attention.
Yeah.
A wise decision there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So how about family?
Sure. Well,
A little different than the Raconteurs family.
yes. Well, as we know from the previous game, Seamus Opossum did have a hand in raising me. He was part of my mother's band of merry pranksters. I don't remember exactly what you all called yourselves.
Pranksters is a bit, lighthearted, if you want to go with that.
My mother was a very light-hearted sort of fox.
Yeah, this was a bit more than that, but we don't need to elaborate. I'll tell you sometime otherwise.
About my mother?
That's and what we got up to.
I know that she exploded things rather a lot. And I was kidnapped one time.
But we got you back, and you didn't seem all too worse for wear.
And it does say, why did they offer me such kindness they sheltered me in the early stages of my exile when I was at my most vulnerable. Why did they offer me such kindness in my moment of need? I feel like we kind of have covered that.
Mm-hmm.
Like friends with my character's mom.
Yeah, the connection with Yasmin.
Sort of the honorary uncle, I guess.
Yeah. And unless I'm really not remembering something correctly from our first game, Michael, I do believe that Yana, aka Jessica, aka now Lady Fox, was kidnapped in that game.
I think so.
Yeah, threatened by some sort of monster people or lizard people. I'm a little bit hazy on the details, but I know she was kidnapped at one point.
We may have to go back and check the tail of the tape, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah. So when I help Seamus Opossum fulfill their nature, and I don't know what their nature is, but we both clear our exhaustion track. By the way, do you want us to go over our nature and drives? Yeah. Or
let's see. Maybe we'll mention those at the end when we're doing like the level up and like exhaustion clearing, I think.
Okay, sure. It just helps me fulfill his nature if I know what it is.
Okay. Well, maybe we should say this one now, just to get it out of the way there. Sure. All right. So Seamus, characters all have 2 drives, and they have 1 nature.
See.
So for the Raider, Seamus, what did you pick, or if you did pick one for your nature?
Well, there's 2 natures for the Raider. Bandit. Clear your exhaustion track when you try to use the threat of force to secure valuables from formidable opposition. But to me, I think Seamus is still trying to do good out there for the denizens of the Force. So I picked Hero. Clear your exhaustion track when you outright attack a dangerous, oppressive, or villainous NPC.
Oh, well, that'll work out well.
Yep.
Oh.
Still
Sorry,
a hero
it's one of those things that I do need to ask because I need to know. So it's attacking a villainous NPC. I feel like we're going to be clearing some exhaustion, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So very, very cool. I think we got some good connections there. Let's move on to Seamus. Yeah, so when he enters this little farmer's market. How does Seamus look?
Well, Seamus looks like an old, battle-scarred, gray, short-tailed opossum with an eye patch over his eye, because now it's missing. You would say that he's been through a lot through his life. He's tried to do the right thing, tried to start an uprising, get the people organized and everything. Didn't work out the way he wanted to. And it kind of broke him a little bit, turned to banditry. But now that he's found this 3 other fellows who share his goals, at least somewhat, feels like he can get back in there. However much he can do at this point.
All right. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. This is a possum that's been through it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your connections there. So the first one, Protector.
Hmm.
Which is sort of similar to what the Exile has, but it's so, I don't know, I mean, it could be Lady Fox. Who do you think, the first time you saw someone, they piqued my curiosity, went out of my way to protect them from the ire of my own band? What about them sparked my loyalty?
I know, well, my own band wouldn't attack Yana under any orders of mine. They know for a fact, do not touch Yana. Else I'll kill you myself. But honestly, I guess it would be Finn. Mostly because, hey, some music around here. We need to, have some moment of brevity. Some moment to just get some happiness in our lives. Some music helps with that a lot. Besides, I know you can't fight for shite, Finn. You need someone to look out for yourself.
Wow.
He's not wrong.
Bard. No, I like that. Oh, sorry, Finn, I think I might have cut you off there. Can you say it one more time?
No, I was just saying he's not wrong. I prefer to battle with words than with weapons.
All right, and after that is Watcher. So somebody bested me in combat when I got out of hand. How? Why did I thank them for it? So who kind of held you back when you were
That might be
when
something
things were
that
getting a
fits
little
my
crazy in
character.
the battlefield?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Kat.
Yeah.
Because Kiva is an arsonist. I'm not exactly sure she'll get into a straight-up fight with me. And we already established Finn. We gotta teach you some sword lessons, boy. Yeesh. But
Not half ago.
it definitely makes sense for Lady Fox to be my watcher. Because sometimes Seamus does get out of hand. And he just sees a target and it's like, that son of a filthy... Seamus just goes after people sometimes. And it takes, some strong words to get him back in line and not go on a killing spree.
It's true. I'm good with both my words and with my sword. So when my words cannot stop him from behaving recklessly, my sword can.
It's good that you do, Les. Good that you do.
Do you remember the first time you fought me after I came back from the wilderness? You didn't know yet that I could fight.
Not yet. I just thought you were my friend's daughter. We rescued you once before. She didn't know any sword lessons. Boy, taught me a thing or two.
No. I did have a great master out in the woods.
Ah,
Then she gives the 1,000-yard stare.
interesting.
What's the practical thing about Watcher?
Let's see. When you figure them out, you always hold one on a miss. When you plead with them to go along with you, you can let them clear 2 exhaustion instead of 1.
Could be handy, helping to convince her. All right, so let's move on to Kiva. So, Kiva's walking into this bustling market square. Maybe masked, maybe not.
No
What
mask.
do we think?
She only wears her masks in very particular situations when she does not want to be identified as a short, sort of slightly anxious, always paranoid, looking around, shifty individual. Kind of stands out as an Arctic hare with, sort of this mottled white and gray fur and bright crimson eyes. So she kind of, is at the back of the crowd, darker clothing, wears a sort of robe-like cloak to sort of conceal herself a little bit. Mostly to conceal the crossbow that is slung across her back, so she can quickly just pop it out, fire it, and then run.
Very cool. Let's talk about your connections. So,
connections.
Somebody here is your friend who you pulled off a mad, impossible stunt together.
I think it was actually Lady Fox, Diana. And I think the mad and impossible stunt that we pulled off was escaping the Winterborn Dominion.
Mm-hmm.
Kiva, I mean, I think we were both characters are pretty young when that happened.
I think we're both pretty young now.
I mean, yes, but I mean younger than we are currently.
We were younger and more naive 3 seasons ago.
Yes. Just sort of figured it was best to book it, which we did. And, yeah, that was, I mean, I had my own reasons of wanting to get out of the Winterborn Dominion that were probably separate from Yana's. But they tended to align, and I think escaping, I would imagine probably a dangerous situation for you, sort of inspired her more chaotic natures.
I can see that. Running ahead of Lady Fox's family's enemies, rival claimants to the throne, that kind of thing.
Probably set a fire or two.
It is difficult that there's also the Bloody Baron who seems to think it would be great revenge against my aunt to kill me. He's a little bit confused on my family's dynamic.
Yeah. But the mechanic for that one, for friend, is that when I give you help, I can mark 2 exhaustion to give you a +2 instead of 1 exhaustion for a +1.
Nice. Maybe you can help me figure out what I should do for an accent.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that a whole lot either. I'm sure we'll figure that out as we go.
Hey.
It'll be my common accent, then your higher-born accent.
I'm trying to go right now for somebody would have a Russian accent, but is trying very hard to do British accent.
Don't get me. I can't do Russian accents. They sound terrible. My accents are abysmal.
It's all moose and squirrel. Can't go wrong with that.
I'll try it off air and come back with an accent next time.
Okay.
Speak with an accent for the next week.
Oh boy. All right.
I don't think we really need to do it. I just like to set
Accents
myself apart
totally
from
off.
my character a little.
I know, but I find it funny.
So
my other connection. Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, the next connection is your partner, and this one actually ties into your relationship with one of the factions.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the partner that I work with probably quite often is in fact actually Seamus Opossum. And I think what we did is, I think one of the first things we did together when we met up in the Dark Forest, as we decided that the Dark Forest is in a bad spot because it's between 2 rival kingdoms that just use this place as battlegrounds constantly.
Yeah, it's like, here's the Dominion, here's the Empire, here's the denizens right in the middle, and then...
It's a pretty awful situation. So I think what we did is, on behalf of the denizens, maybe not because they asked, because we wanted to, we took the fight to one of the outposts of the Winterborn Dominion and torched it. And it turned out it was actually not just a outpost, but a store, food store for their army.
Oh boy.
So it put them in a bad position for a little while.
If they like the food, well done.
All right. So did you do this on behalf of the denizens?
Yes.
Yeah, the common creatures of the dark forest. So in that case, what you're gonna do, there's this Root has a very cool system where these vagabonds can gain favor or disfavor with the factions. So you get 2 prestige with the dark forest. You can fill in 2 of those. I think on the green side there. Or no, I believe they're right in the middle one where it's the
it's
the reaching towards +1. Yeah. And on the other side of that +0, reaching towards the -1, you're going to put -2 boxes for the notoriety towards the Winterborn Dominion.
And that's just the 2 of them, right?
Yeah, just 2 of us.
Those 2.
Oh, so I do it as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
because I
were-
think that's tied into the your connections bit.
Yeah, so when you fill this connection, you each fill in 2 prestige, 2 notoriety.
Yes.
Clarification: if I say have already 3 boxes filled in for the notoriety towards the Winterborn Dominion, is that a -1 at that point, or does it have to pass to have the -1?
I think it has to pass. It has to get
Got
into that area, from what I understand.
So it's
I'm still
2
learning
to the minion and 2 to the denizens?
Yes, +2
Yeah.
denizens, -2 dominion.
Awesome.
What were you currently? You were at 3, and then you just hit the -1 with it?
I had -1 for the base,
Gotcha.
which I've earned special amity as part of my character. I have -1 to dominion for obvious reasons, and this is
I have-
another -2 notoriety.
Yeah, I have -2 with the Winterborn Dominion. There are many people there that wish to see me dead, but I shall continue to fly the colors of my homeland. Bring them on, I say.
Ooh.
Yes.
All right.
Revenge shall be mine. I am an Avenger.
Sure.
Yeah, so long as you do a better job than the cooks who are on the throne right now, lass.
Mm.
As long as I get to
Well-
burn something.
Speaking of crooks and chaos, while you guys are in this marketplace, just enjoying the sunlight, maybe looking over some of the wares. What's the word? A thrumming, angry voice. Thrumming is the wrong word. An angry kind of lilting voice comes from one of the stalls. It is a beaver who's running one of these marketplaces, selling a variety of produce. She points big paw at you guys and says, "Thieves! They stole some of my apples."
I'm sorry, are you accusing us of thievery?
Yes, I saw
Why?
you four just each snatched some of my apples away.
That's not need to be hasty.
No, my good lady, that is not. Don't. I have
And
not
now,
touched an apple in many a day. I have no idea what you're talking about.
If I stole your apples, you wouldn't have anything left to cry about.
and now you're threatening me. And her tail is slapping against the ground in worry. And she calls out, "Bailiff! Bailiff, come here and deal with these thieves."
You should
And,
know, good lady, that false accusations are a crime.
So
I
with
shall
that-
meet this challenge head on!
So the bailiff, who is a hedgehog, he is like, a stout staff, maybe some basic leathers on, but he's not that much of he's the village bailiff. He's not that much of a warrior. He approaches, kind of trundles over. "All right, calm down a little bit. My name is Tigrin. I'm the bailiff here. Now, why did you steal poor Polina's apples?"
I don't know what this lady is talking about. I have not. I don't think I even was near the stall that she's from, and you can search myself and my companions. We have no apples to speak of.
We just entered town not only a few moments ago.
And then she started crying, "Oh, apple thieves over there!" Eh.
Does seem a rather improbable accusation to levy against us.
I think somebody's gonna have to persuade an NPC here. He seems a little bit amendable, and you can tell he's kind of giving some side eye to Polina.
This is based off charm, right?
Yes, persuade an NPC is with charm.
I mean, I'm down to do it, but I'm sure Finn also has high charm. Mine's a +2, but
It's 3.
yeah.
Hey.
All right, Finn. This is our first roll of the game, so let's see what
Sure.
happens.
Yeah. But can I step in if he fails? Because I will.
I don't know. I think I'll move the story on in that case.
Nah.
It's a 9.
Okay, so a 9's not bad. All right. A 9. Okay, they aren't sure. What do you need to do to sway them? Tigran says, "Look, why don't you come with me to see the Burgomeister? He's a cunning enough fellow. Gustav Gross is his name. He might help you out of this situation."
That sounds very good. I do not know if you are aware of who we are. I am Lady Falx. I have been defending the denizens of the Dark Forest quite often in battles against both the Sable Empire and the Winterborn Dominion.
Oh. Well, that is very interesting. And his spines are rattling a little bit in nervousness. Well, let's go see the Burgomaster then, yes?
Of course.
Certainly,
Neither, sir.
I always do enjoy
Lead
talking
the way.
to the local constabulary.
All right, so
Boy, all this over apples. If she wants her apples stolen, I might as well just steal one right now.
She, Lady Fox puts her arm around Seamus and is like, "Dear Seamus, these are simple people. Apples mean so very much to them."
Is their livelihood.
hey, we simple folk love our apples, I gotta say.
Oh yes, they're quite delicious.
And I must say, this close to the Winterborn Dominion, she could simply be succumbing to the trick of her eyes of not being able to recognize one white animal from another white animal.
So she did all of us were thieves. So there's only 2 white animals among the groups. So that is a little strange.
Guilt by proxy.
Quite possibly.
So Tigran leads you to Gustav Gross's quarters. In the center of the village, Burgomaster Gustav Gross keeps his quarters, a 3-storied structure with a golden thatched roof and pale wood. Inside, Gross rests his bulk on a cushioned chair behind a high desk. He is a quite obese marmot with peach-colored fur. All around him, expensive clockwork mechanisms hum and click. Clockwork birds flutter their wings, and clockwork knights jab the air with their swords. "Imports from the city of Talk," Gross calls, a little loudly over the sounds of the mechanisms. "The finest engineering in the Dark Forest. What can I say? I am a beast who enjoys the finer things. I can see that you do as well. But we have a problem that ruins my enjoyment. An outlaw cat named Lady Speckles. Now, I understand you were brought in on a charge of thievery, yes?"
Of
No, man.
apples of all things, sir, those literally grow on trees.
You got no proof to judge us by, so come on.
You could
It's
check our
fair.
bags.
You are very free to check our possessions. I mean, I could even, if you wish, I can. I will vouch for all these fine people, and if you wish compensation, I can put on a performance to for instance to lighten the mood in the town.
Well, the word of a bunch of landless wanderers, I mean, you must understand how doubtful this looks, how suspicious this looks, yes?
Oh, I'm sure. Yes, that is very true. But I myself have actually helped the denizens of the forest on occasions, putting on performances, telling stories, and even helping in the building of buildings and other things that.
And I've spilt a great deal of blood for this land, sir.
Well, in that case, perhaps you can come to some arrangement. You could, of course, have a trial, which would trap you here for many days. We follow the blessed beasts in this village and favor trial by ordeal. So something like grab a log of burning wood and hold it in your paws for as long as you can, or jump into a freezing river, and if you come out, you'll be proven innocent. It's very tedious. Or
tedious and very barbaric.
Sounds like witchcraft.
Sounds like Thursday.
Well, we can also come to another arrangement involving the aforementioned outlaw cat. What do you say?
Well, sir, if you had simply brought us in here and said, I wish you to fight this Lady Speckle for being a general roustabout nuisance on this land without base accusations of apple thievery, I think that we would all be quite amenable to the suggestion. As it stands, well, I do not brook insult easily, sir.
Well, it was certainly not my intention to insult. I'm at my wit's end, I might say.
I'm interested.
Excellent.
What story?
That's a good rabbit.
I don't even know what this
Hair.
lady, whatever her name is, did.
Lady Speckles, and she's a horrible outlaw, a ferocious foreign cat covered in hideous spots. She lurks up in the harrowed hills past the meadows and has fallen upon trade caravans numerous times. A brutal beast who only respects the blade. Hence, my current predicament and you perhaps appearing as saviors.
Well,
I do
mean,
look forward to fighting what is presumably either a leopard or a snow leopard or a cheetah.
I believe her species is ocelot, though I might be mistaken.
cute.
I don't know.
Something from the Westlands. They've more and more of them have arrived in the Dark Forest, and some of them have found a place in our cities and villages, but some have not.
This is quite a long way from the Westland here.
Nonetheless, Lady Speckle has made the journey. But how she arrived is not particularly important. I can draw you a map to her camp, and I'll leave the rest to you. Yes?
But
Sure.
you already know where her camp is. Why couldn't you have sent out someone to take care of this before we even got here?
Well,
Opportunity.
yes. You can tell he's a little bit nervous. Seamus, are you trying to figure someone out, maybe?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
What is that, by the way?
That's
Oh, wait,
charm.
Yeah, that's charm.
I
And there's a
got
number
0.
of questions you can ask about the Burgomeister.
No problem. I got 0 in charm, so this is just a straight roll.
All right. Well, it could be worse. Let's see what happens here.
I rolled a 12.
Whoa!
Hey!
2 6s in a row.
Incredible. All right. So on a 10 plus, hold 3.
Mhm.
You can ask 3 of these questions.
Okay. Is he telling the truth?
He's definitely telling the truth that he is afraid of Lady Speckles. But beyond that, like about the raiding caravans, seems true, but maybe there's something else he's not telling you.
Okay. What does he intend to do?
He definitely wants you to destroy Lady Speckles. That's his
Okay.
goal, is to use you to take her out.
Alright. How can I get him to actually spill the beans? on Letty Speckles. How can I get him to tell the truth?
Okay. I think if you can, like, present him with evidence of guilt of some kind, like, if you know the truth about it, that would get him to admit his guilt. But otherwise, he's very much like, you can't prove that if you make some kind of accusation.
I'll just go up to him real close and like, I know you're not telling us the entire thing, laddie. We'll follow along for now. But you're on thin ice.
Yes, well, anyway, go to the Harrowed Hills and fight Lady Speckles. Bring me back her head. We'll put it on a pike in the town square. Go have fun. Marmots can't sweat, but if they could, this guy would be sweating.
Wow.
All right, so you guys head out. Are we just going on foot here, or are we going to try and procure any mounts or make any preparations before you head into the Harrowed Hills? And I should say that unlike Root, which everybody's just all the animals just running around in their paws, in the Dark Forest, there are certain animals that are not sentient that are used as mounts. So this isn't a Zootopia situation where every animal is intelligent and it would be weird to ride around some animals. This is a, Rango situation.
Well, it makes it easier for the obligate carnivores, because otherwise there's a lot of murder going down all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I did want to try to construct a incendiary device while we're in town.
Okay. All right, I like that. But I should just say, so yeah, there's like riding boars, goats, rams, and sheep are kind of the primary. Anything with hooves really are exist as mounts, and they are not sentient. They are beasts of burden in this world.
By the way, how are we doing equipment?
That's the thing is, I don't think I currently have any money. So
You should. So when you look at the box, it says equipment next to its starting value.
yeah, I already used it.
So then you're out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I currently have my sword has a value of 7. My chainmail has a value of 4. My starting value was 11. Lady Fox is skint.
You would have to, maybe ask an NPC to borrow a mount. You could try and use. There might be a faction move that could help you, but yeah, if you don't have any money, this might be a little bit hard. You could try to ask for a favor based on your reputation with the Dark Forest denizens to see if they'll loan you something. They're probably not going to give you like a destrier, a fancy war boar, but maybe you'll get something.
Sure. Well, can
It's
I
totally
do this with the burgomaster?
What's that?
Can I talk to the burgomaster about this since it's his mission?
Yes. Yeah. So what are you asking?
Well, dear sir, if you do want this mission accomplished faster, if we could have some steeds, it would move things along quite nicely. Despite our reputation for apple thievery, I think that you'll find we'll be quite good about returning the horses.
Oh, boars or goats, you should say.
Oh, sorry. About returning the boars.
Ah. All right. Sounds like you're trying to persuade an NPC.
She is trying to persuade an NPC. So I'll roll that. That is a 12.
Wow.
Nice.
I rolled 2 10s or charms at +2.
All right. He's like, I'll see what can be arranged.
Sounds
And-
good. Do you suppose you could provide any apples for the boars to eat?
Maybe 1 or 2. I'll talk to the widow Polina, but she is rather protective of her apples, as you've gathered.
Quite.
So you put this in your equipment, I guess. You each get like a plow bore, or just a boar that is known for pulling a plow on one of Barley Brook's many small farms. Not the best kind of animal. I'm not sure if we can add labels to them. I think really all these guys can do is make you go a little bit faster.
I mean, should I have asked for goats instead? It seemed a boar would be less obstinate than a goat.
No, in this world, boars and goats are both about equal to riding. I think
Okay.
maybe goats are a little faster, boars are a little more powerful, but you're not going to find top of the line mounts in an out of the way place like Barley Brook either way.
Yeah.
And goats are more of a winter-born thing. Goats are more to the east.
Yeah. Well, then maybe I should have requested goats, but whatever.
Yeah.
I
mean,
said
they probably
boar, and I'm
have-
sticking with it.
Yeah,
Huh?
They probably wouldn't have them, or they'd have like not so good ones.
Right.
These are used boars, so not
Right.
the best.
I do have a question.
Mhm.
What would be the stats on an axe? Because I really didn't see anything like that in the rules.
Right. Okay. So going by the tags,
I think there's an axe. Is it not in the equipment?
I don't see an axe.
In the full book, there's an axe.
Okay.
I can pull. I think I might have the book open, or if not, I can open it really quickly.
Oh yeah, that'd be great if you could.
Yeah, let me get that because I think it's called a rabbit folk axe that's in there.
Ooh, okay.
So let me get to the equipment.
That does use finesse. Rabbit Folk Steel. I'm looking at the tags right now. Does use finesse instead of might, so I don't know if that would work.
Yeah, that wouldn't be too good
What
for
do you
Seamus.
use? A might?
Might. Got 2 in might.
You could add sharp, which marks wear when inflicting harm with this weapon to inflict 1 additional harm, so it could do extra damage.
Mhm.
You could go with throwable. I don't know if you want that. You could go with large. That could also do 1 additional harm. Though
Yeah,
Do you
that'll
have
probably
a
caution.
really quickly? Do you have any like special weapon skills?
Weapon skills? I picked
Yeah.
Storm a Group.
Storm a group. So you want to find a weapon that like allows you to do storm a group.
Oh, they have to allow us to do...
Yeah.
I think. I think any weapon can let you do that, though.
I think you'd have to add the tag, which would drive up the value, but I'm not positive.
No. Storm a Group's a weapon move.
Yeah, I know, but the weapons have specific moves that are associated with them.
Oh.
Like, if you look at the basic rules with the pre-made equipment, you can see, like, dagger, weapon skill tags, parry, comma, vicious strike. Storm a group is, like, there are specific weapons that can do that. Like, you're not going to storm a group with a dagger.
Right. Well, I think we can add them ourselves though, because we're making our own equipment here.
Yeah, I think so. I think that there's a cost to doing that,
Okay.
but I need to find it.
Here it is.
It's 1 value per tag.
Yeah. Each weapon move tag on a weapon costs 1 value.
Okay.
You can get an axe and then add the storm a group tag, but it adds a...
Yeah, that will cost 1
Value.
value. Is that okay, Seamus?
No problem. I got 6 left from the chainmail.
And the weapon
right.
itself has a certain value. So, you want to figure out how much wear it can take, and that adds value.
Yep.
Yeah, each box of wear costs 1 value. Stormer group would be another value. And then if you want to add some tags, those would each cost some value as well.
Right.
So I can do this on my own. I don't want to take up too much time with this.
Oh yeah, no worries. No, we're all kind of learning. I mean, we played an earlier version of this game before some of these changes were made. So I think in the earlier version they had very much like these are the weapons you can choose from, but this gives you the ability to make your own, which is cool, but also kind of confusing sometimes.
Yeah.
But we're figuring it out. It's pretty simple. I think just you add each thing is pretty much 1 value per whatever new thing you add to the weapon.
Mhm.
All right, so let's move ahead a little bit.
I want us to
Oh yes, you want
build
to
a
make
device. Yeah.
incendiary device.
So I'm searching for like a weaver or an artist to try to find basically like aluminium, and then someone who might be selling or have saltpeter on hand they don't need.
Okay.
Make a
So is
flashbang.
Is this the create to destroy move that you're using?
Yes, it is.
Very cool. Okay. So use available materials to rig up a dangerous device. Roll with finesse, and we'll see what happens there.
So it's a 7, so I succeed.
Okay, but you're gonna choose 2 problems. So what are we thinking?
It's a lot dangerous. It's a lot more dangerous than intended. So it's not a flashbang. It's a fragment grenade.
Oh boy. Okay.
And what I was expecting was a sort of like small like metal cylinder. It's like a pack of like plastic explosives, much larger. It is heavy. It's unwieldy.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah. So it's not like
All right.
a throne. It is a place. Light the fuse and then run.
All right, you can add this shaped charge, this I don't know, pipe bomb kind of thing to your inventory.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens there.
Explosive box.
All right. So let's continue to reach the camp of Lady Speckles. You guys all hop on these plow boars right away from the village. You cross some sort of like open ground, and then pretty soon you're in the Harrowed Hills. There's chunks of old ruins from the Ermine Empire, a great previous power in antiquity, long since decayed into dust. You can see some pillars, columns poking out amongst the trees. It's pretty dense foliage around here. Lots of scrub, lots of branches in the way. A little bit of autumn chill still in the air, definitely getting worse as you get closer to night. And you know from the map that somewhere up ahead is the outlaw camp, but Gustav didn't know exactly where it is, so it's not super specific. What's the plan here? Are we just kind of riding along, or sending out a scout, or trying to be a little sneaky? What's your sort of plan to find the camp?
Well, really quickly before we look for the camp. Oh, sorry, Kiva.
I was just saying I can sneak ahead. Sort of
If you wish.
begins undoing the her satchel, which contains her mask in it.
By the way, when we return to the town, is anybody going to object to me killing the burgomaster?
Yes,
no, I was
yes.
gonna do that
No,
myself.
don't. No, we shouldn't do that.
Why not?
Why
An
shouldn't we?
interesting story, but would cause troubles down the road.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
all know he's
it's
just
not going to
using
look
us.
good.
He may be using it. He's also a figure of power, and we don't want to many.
Yes, a
It would-
corrupt figure of power who
It
we
would
must
be-
defeat because he is evil.
It would be better if we maybe talk to this Lady Speckles, figure out why he wants her dead,
Oh,
and
yes,
then
I figured
depose
we...
of him in a proper, meaningful way.
Right, through bloodshed and violence.
No. Disgrace. Nope.
How about we get this lady to help us with any evidence against the Burgermeister, gets him out of his position of power, and then we hang him.
Oh, I
It's
could go for a
lawful.
good timing.
That's.
We're not killing
I'm
him
not comfortable with
outright.
that.
Wait, Kiva, I think I understand where we're going with this. What we do is we cut off his hands, we cut out his tongue, and send him into the wilderness.
No. Look. If we really want to make a show of it all, after we can propose him, we can burn his building down. But I don't want to
I'm not.
kill
I'm not.
him.
I will say if we burn the building down, then who
Other
would the
buildings
next
might catch.
other building might catch was who would the next leader of the town live and do work?
at their home. It's just a fancy building.
Look, the main thing is that he's a tyrannical and dangerously overbearing figure, and I must fight and destroy him.
We don't know that for sure.
Well, definitely know it for sure. He accused me of stealing apples. I should have his head.
Well-
finished.
It was not him who used it. It was the stall manager. But again, he may be using us just for his own ends, but there may be a reason for it, obviously. But well,
If he is working for a greater evil, then he will reveal it upon pain of death, and then we can fight the greater evil.
but saying that those who are those will say thing on pain of death. So we don't know if what saying is true.
Yes, but I would kill him, which would make me feel a lot better.
I-
So But again, it causes troubles later on.
I don't want to get in the habit of just killing people.
That true.
I feel like that's a bad habit to have that my dad had, and I don't want.
Only if you killed the wrong people.
He didn't really care about who he killed.
I care very greatly about stopping evil in its tracks, and he's clearly evil. Right? Clearly evil.
Manipulative and a coward.
Which is evil.
Not necessarily.
It just means he's a coward.
Yes.
Viewers, if you think being manipulative and cowardly is evil, please let us know.
But the main thing about it is that somebody that basically accused us of apple thievery is now sending us to kill this Lady Speckles, who probably is not evil.
Well, he didn't technically, say we did it. He was going to give us a trial.
Right, but
I don't like trials, because trials are dumb, and it's useless point of time.
Yeah, but... Hold on. The thing is... Hold on. The thing about it is that he clearly had that apple vendor told to do that, and she wasn't very good about it because she accused us of it the moment we stepped into town, which is completely illogical.
If it was him who put the woman up to it, then it was a very crass way of doing it. He very well could have just asked us if we wanted to have adventure and become heroes.
And if he had done that, it would have been quite easy to, trick me, because I like being heroic.
That is very true. And heroism makes for very, very good stories. But I will say, killing him will make us seem more like villains than heroes. And we don't want that.
Yeah.
Villains usually looked upon in a negative manner to anyone who is hearing of stories and tales. And
do you understand the notion of villainy? But
I think at this point you can see
we're all arguing
some, as you're talking riding along, you can see
Well, I don't know this bird, and he's saying a lot of blah blah blah.
Oh man, the original accent's coming out.
I'm on the side of Mr. Troubadour.
You can see some smoke rising up from some sort of an encampment up ahead of you.
Heads up, we're coming up on the camp. Let's say we come up with a plan. Doubt we're going to be attacking her outright, but we should have something to say to her. I'm going to be using one of my moves for this, actually. Plan of attack.
I think Kiva wanted to go sneak in first. We'll have her do that, and then you go ahead and do your move there.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, go ahead forward and... Yes.
All right, and this is
the rain on the plain falls mainly on the fire. You can go ahead, Kiva, and see what you can find.
And this is a roguish feat that Kiva is skilled in. This is another move. This is a very cool thing that I like about Root, is that instead of just having tons and tons of sneaky stuff, they just have it has attempt a roguish feat, and there's a list of them that you can use. So you choose. Not every character can do every one, which is cool. All right, so Kiva, you're going with the sneak one, I think.
I am, yes. I'm also. This doesn't really change the world, but I am putting on my danger mask, and you all see as she pulls out of this leather bag and kind of throws it around her shoulders. It is both a hooded cloak that has a mask, a plague doctor's mask has been sewn into it, so it looks like a oversized crow. She sort of puts it on and hopefully sneaks her to the camp. That's a 10.
Whoa. All right.
Sneak well.
You achieve your goal. Okay, so you near the hill, and this is what you see in Lady Speckles' hideout. At the crest of the hill, a ramshackle outpost awaits. The ruins of some old Ermine Empire hill fort serve as the bones. Moss-covered stones ring broken walls, a single crooked tower, and a crumbling, lonely arch. Inside, tents and lean-tos house Lady Speckles' gang. They're a mixture of beasts from all across the world. A massive capybara sits in one corner. squinting at some device through a pair of absurdly tiny spectacles. Trio of pine martens lean on their pikes near the band's treasure trove. A collection of identical ochre chests full of shining coins, much richer than what these ragged bandits should have. There is quiet in the encampment now, but it's the quiet before a storm, or the bandit gang's next move.
Okay. Gonna quickly survey the area, and then I wanted to pull out from my bag the wooden box that has what I think is a flashbang grenade, but it's clearly not. And I'm gonna sort of find a nearby tree and sort of take out a bolt from my crossbow and sort of scratch an X onto it a little bit, so I know which one's which, and then partially bury it at the foot of the tree, so we have at least some sort of distraction if we decide to attack, and we can then light it and attack from the other sides.
Okay. And then you're rejoining the group, you think, or are you staying here in hiding?
I'll give it another minute to see if I see this lady speckled, the cat person, the ocelot person.
Mm-hmm.
Do I?
Yeah, I think you see her kind of making her rounds around the tent. She is, an ocelot, looking a little rangy, very thin, been living off the land. You definitely see that beautiful yellow speckled fur, huge green eyes, luminous in the growing dark. And she's got like a buckler on her back, long sword to her hip. She's kind of walking in, checking members of her gang, clasping hands and shoulders, that kind of thing. And then taking a final pause and a meaningful stare at those ochre chests with the silver coins inside.
Got it. But now I'll head back to the group and inform them what I've seen.
All right. Now I think Seamus wanted to do something after your...
Yes. Actually make a plan of attack. What are my moves?
Ooh, cool.
All right. Look gather around. We ought to make some sort of plan before we do this. We fighting all right or not? And then I'm going to roll with might. See how well this goes.
Okay, I'm checking out the move myself right now here.
And I got a 10.
Ah, okay. So you make a quick plan here, and you can use these with this 10, which we are rolling high tonight.
We are.
Special moves here whenever combat breaks out, even if it doesn't break out right away, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So with that, are you guys heading into the camp, or what's the plan now?
I think we're waiting for the report first.
All right. I think Kiva has delivered it there.
Yeah.
You kind of know So you know the layout. You know about these mysterious chests filled with silver. And
oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Kiva.
And that there is a explosive device that we can ignite if we choose to use it as part of a distraction.
So they are actually bandits, but there's the chests sound unusual in a way.
Yeah, they're really nice chests. Probably stolen from the bark dude, whatever his name is.
The burger. Well, you can tell like
the burger guy.
I mean, this is an out of the way, border village. Silver chests full of silver coin would not be coming through this place usually. So that's weird.
Well, he did have all those fancy machines in his office.
Well, he may have had those machines, but I don't. He doesn't seem like the. He didn't seem like the fellow to have large amounts of silver in chests, unless. Well, he wouldn't have had that silver on hand. It's such a small town. So.
Could have gotten waylaid. That's what I would have done.
That is a possibility that they did. But we also don't know the reason. They could be simple thieves, or there could be a reason why they still said such things. I'm surprised that they are keeping these chests on hand and not spending the money that they stored.
They look heavy.
Yes.
Silver chests aren't light.
No, usually not. So it is.
What sort of plan have you formulated, Mr. Opossum?
Well, first thing, I think half our group wanted to see if we could go the peaceful route with this, so why don't we try talking with her first?
I don't know if talking's gonna be useful. Capturing will be.
We could do that.
See, this is the thing that I always find This is always the thing that I find interesting about you, Kiva, is that you will make these suggestions of not to commit violence, and then the very next minute you are suggesting violence as the first option.
I mean, look, I don't want to kill them. That's a bonus, right?
Oh no, you want to abduct them.
I mean, we have to figure out what they're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
So are we abducting Lady Speckles here?
That is a possibility. Or, I mean, I could try and speak with her. Maybe come in as an entertainer and tell her stories. Maybe it said I am words.
Minstrel, or troubadour?
Well, I'm a minstrel, but I have heard of her and wish to spread her story, and maybe maybe I can have an interview, see like maybe she can tell her tale and I can spread that around. If not, I can also cause attraction.
It's a good plan to distract her, so that the rest of us can, sneak in, and
I think the raconteur does have some good moves for this kind of thing too.
Yeah, no, I do have all eyes on me, which it does say that I can create a distraction through outlandish performance. So, which I mark exhaustion and charm on a hit. The room can't look away. My allies take a +1 on to sneak, hide, pickpocket, or trust fate while I'm performing.
Great for us.
Okay.
So we'll sneak in and get in position while you do your whole oodalali thing.
Yeah, and if oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was saying, if things go bad, we'll maybe have a signal, and then I'll blow something up.
The signal is going to be that they attack him.
That does mean you're going in there on your own for a bit, Finn.
I mean, I'll be nearby.
I'll be nearby.
I can move quite quickly, Seamus. Frostbite shall taste blood yet again.
Whoa. Oh, that happy note. All right, Finn. So, how do you enter, and then how do you get their attention?
I think I was sort of I sort of move my lute from my back and sling it up and playing a tune, and sort of as I'm walking up and as I'm sort of playing on the lute, I'm just like, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Finn Kadu. I am a teller of tales, a bard of many talents, and I have come to hear the tale of Lady Speckles, to wow and entertain those that could and spread the infamy or perhaps the legend of the great lady.
Okay. All right. So you start strumming up a storm. Let's see what happens here. So you're going to roll all eyes on me.
Yes.
Roll with charm.
Rolling the charm. Come on. Okay. 10.
Whoa.
Yes. 7 dice and a +3 charm. So yes, on a 10 I get to hold 1, which I can spend the hold to grant an ally a +3 one of the for one of the sneaking, hiding, pickpocket, or trusting fate instead of the +1.
All right. Yeah, you just like bust out the sickest lute solo. It is amazing.
Does he get to pick
Cap-
who the +3 is after we roll on trying to sneak?
Yeah, I think that's how it works.
Yeah,
I
that's yeah.
think
Basically,
that's before
yeah. Basically, at the moment, you guys all have a +1 to sneak, hide, pickpocket, and trust fate. But if I choose, I can choose. I can have someone have 3 instead.
All right, so that capybara starts clapping along with his big paws. Pine Martin's very interested. Lady Speckles is a little bit wary. She's kind of letting her gang enjoy the performance, but she is sort of walking towards the edge of the clearing, kind of on guard, but still very much focused on Finn. So if you guys want to try and grab her, this would be the chance.
Did you want us to roll sneak first, or do you want us to just jump right to trying to grab her?
Let's go ahead and go to the abduction bit, because I think Finn's not doing so well with the distraction that you guys are pretty much covered.
Well, I've got a decent might, so I don't mind trying to grapple an enemy at intimate range.
All right.
No, I'll help Lady Fox.
And I also have 3 holds, so I can lend a hand. And I'll lend a hand. You got +1.
All right. I love this teamwork. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay.
So it sounds like I'm adding some things to this roll beyond my might.
Yes, I'm gonna use my. I'm gonna spend 2 exhaustion to give you a +2 on top of that. So I think you're now sitting at a +3.
Yep.
Okay.
Plus
Plus
1,
my
plus
might,
2.
which is a +2.
So
Total
you
of
got +5.
Right,
Plus
which
5.
brings us to an 11.
Wow.
Nice.
That was a
Nice.
low
I
roll.
didn't roll that well. There's
It
just
was
a
a
lot of
low roll.
modifiers.
That was a lot of modifiers. Yes, yeah.
This is how root works. Teamwork.
Yeah.
That could have gone so badly.
Mhm.
All right. Well, Lady Speckles has her back to you. Her tail's kind of swished in time to the music. Lady Fox, how do you grab her?
Basically, a lot of this stuff is about inflicting injury. I don't feel like I want to do any of that. Like, I'm reading grapple an enemy at close range, and it's all like hurting them. And I'm like, but I don't want to do that, though.
You can also just knock her out.
Yeah, let's just, you can just wear them down.
Okay,
That would count for this.
got it.
Or I'll even let you do the impress, dismay, or frighten from the engage and melee move above it.
So I think that Lady Fox is just kind of move around her really quickly and then put her hand over her mouth and have, like, the sword, like, kind of pressed in. And it's like,
Okay.
We're going to move into the woods. We need to talk. No harm will come to you unless you struggle.
All right, her ears go up, but she goes with you.
Yeah, and across the clearing, you see Kiba has sort of ducked out behind a tree, and you see glinting the crossbow bolts and the red eyes behind the plague mask.
Ooh. All right, and Seamus, are you with Lady Fox, or where are you positioned here?
I'm probably with Kiva, just waiting for her, Lady Fox to bring her in. Stand there with the huge axe in his hand, being as intimidating as possible.
All right. Okay, so Lady Fox, you pull Speckles into the underbrush. What do you do?
Hello, Lady Speckles. I am Lady Fox. We are apparently both nobility of some variety, or we both like to claim that we are.
She's like, it's not a nickname that I've chosen for myself.
Ah,
It does have a nice ring to it, though, I suppose. I have my own name, my own language, but I won't burden you with it.
knowing another's name is not a burden, but I also have another name in my own language. So, it seems like we are very kindred spirits, and I do apologize for the frightful treatment that I've exhibited towards you already, ma'am.
Well, no harm done. Yet.
Quite. Although, if things do come down to it, I do look forward to engaging you in an honorable duel. You do seem to be quite the formidable opponent.
I've been told so. Tell me, did the Burgomeister send you?
Yes, that, gelatinous cretin of a man did send us up here, which makes me very much believe that his words are false. He accused us of apple thievery.
That's his way.
And does he do that quite a lot?
And I take it that he wants me killed outright?
He requested your head on a pike.
Ah, yes.
But if I was to do such things, I would stay in the Winterborn Dominion.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned the Winterborn Dominion. And the reason you wanted my head on a pike is that heads can't talk. Can I show you something, Lady Fox? It will mean that we'll have to go back into my camp.
Certainly. I would not say that I necessarily trust you implicitly, but I do trust you much more than an morbidly callow marmot. He was a marmot, wasn't he?
Correct.
Okay. Nice marmot.
Any consolation, I'll come along just as insurance. So nobody thinks about anything.
The possum. Well, come along, and I think you'll find out that, strangely, the one who's supposedly the most lawful is in fact exactly the opposite. So, she brings you in and she walks you over towards those chests of ochre wood. And Lady Fox, you get closer, you recognize the seal of the Winterborn Court, like the snowflake design emblazoned on the lid. And then she snaps it open, and inside you can see a bunch of Winterborn kopecks of silver. She's like, we took this from a trade wagon heading into Barley Brook. Figured it was just the usual, some hides, some vegetables, maybe the occasional coin. Then we discovered this. It was bound for the Burgomeister's quarters himself. Now, so what do you think? A massive fortune of Winterborn silver going towards someone, a village that is supposedly, in this part of the Dark Forest at least, under the control of the Grand Sable Empire.
Also very, very close to the Winterborn Dominion of itself.
Yes, it's a bribe. And the Sable Empire frowns upon treason, so you can see why he wants me dead.
Right. I do not necessarily favor the Grand Sable Empire, but there are various people amongst the Winterborn that wish me dead. Or at least have their sword back.
Well, I think that's bad for both of us. Is the bird there? Is he your bird? Or with you?
I would not
rather?
say that he is my bird, but he is... Both Kiva and Mr. Opossum have sworn for him, so I do trust their judgment.
Hear a soft caw.
Well, I'm glad you're here. All of you. You see, Gustav Gross he's a schemer, but he's kind of a fool. And doesn't like to get his paws dirty, which is why he hired you. Unfortunately, the creatures who bribed him, they also don't like to leave things to chance. And I worry that what I've found here is proof that a war is coming.
I would believe then that the Grand Sable Empire would be interested in knowing somebody that is familiar with the Winterborn Dominion.
I think so. And then, from the distance, from the kind of meadow next to the hill, you start hearing some noises. Then you're in the middle there, playing your, strumming that lute. And then suddenly, there's some percussion going along with it. And Lady Speckle says, yes, I'm afraid the Winterborn, they're doing their own to cover their tracks. Up on the hill, you hear the noise, like the drum of a terrible rain, the pounding of hooves. Then through the fading light of the trees, you see them, a small army of the most feared light cavalry of the Winterborn Dominion, the Ice Riders. Arctic hairs in several shades, but mostly bone white. They dress like princes, with colorful caftans, silken sashes, and drooping waxed whiskers, their ears at rakish angles below round caps. Swift-footed white riding goats carry them along, expertly threading through the trees. Leafily curved sabers, the feared shaska, glitter in their paws. Wherever those goat hooves tread, death follows. Now, death has come to the harrowed hills. All right, and I think they're going to charge. They charge straight into the camp, and we're getting into some combat here.
Could I have But as soon as I heard them and like, could I have lit the charge?
You're charging them?
No, lit my explosive
Your
charge.
explosive charge. Yeah. We'll go ahead and start with that. I will just say that, like, the camp is quickly turned into kind of a crazy battlefield here.
Or
Lady
chaos.
Freckles and her gang is holding off some of them. There's large amounts of ice riders coming in, but some of them, I'm going to say about 4 mounted figures are charging towards you guys. One of them is a very, very fat hare who's got some huge ears, very elaborate, like, sashes and blue silks on. He is like two large of these sabers at his side. You might be able to recognize him. He's kind of a feared figure. Lady Fox, you might know him. His name is Little Petro. There's another hare riding up behind him who has like a crossbow on his saddle. He's got like only one ear. And there's 2 other ice riders who are charging you guys as well. So Kiva, I think you're going for the bomb, you said.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. For rolling this.
It's a wreck something that I roll with luck.
Ooh, okay. Let's see what happens there.
I also get a +1 from my danger mask. So, which is in luck, because I rolled a 7 on the dice plus 310.
Whoa. Very cool.
You said his name's Little Petro, right?
Yeah, little Petro.
Little Petro.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys just see a flurry of motion as the sort of quick crow-like figure dashes towards this charge, and there's a quick spark of a flint hitting metal, and you hear an awful hiss as it then sprints away, and a large chunk of the forest is filled with blinding lights, except there's also a fireball that follows it and destroys several of the trees, knocking them over.
Oh boy.
Completely unintended.
All right, so it is more dangerous than intended.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to... Let's see. It's going to do a little bad to you, I think. I think it's going to...
That's fair enough.
I think I want you to mark 1 exhaustion.
Okay.
I think, like, this is a big boom. You run away from it, and that tires you out of it. You definitely don't look back at the explosion, though. It's very...
Of course not.
Yeah.
Can I actually make the case to mark injury instead of exhaustion, as I don't expect it to be as dangerous as it is, so I'm not running away as fast.
All right, I was trying to go a little lighter on you, but yeah, go ahead.
Sauntering away and suddenly thrown to the ground.
Yeah, I don't think I can get in the way between this and...
No,
and
I
you.
wouldn't ask it to anyways.
Oh, I can use Soften a Blow. Reduced by 1 the harm someone suffers from a single attack.
This wasn't an attack.
Not
This wasn't
an
an
attack,
this was my own
well.
stupidity.
Well,
I do have a thing that I really want to do, by the way.
Okay, so we'll go ahead to Lady Fox after this. I'm going to say this blast takes out... I'm just going to say one of the ice riders is taken out, like him and his goat blown to pieces. So there's only 1 left. As well as 1 ear and Little Petro. All right, Lady Fox.
Little Petro, it has been far too long since I saw you last. My mother is still well and alive in the forest. I believe that you have seen my brother more recently. I am Yana Winterborn. You helped my family once escape the tyranny of my aunt. I pray that you are still on our side, on the right side of history. And I am using my Known by All move, which is when I first encounter an important NPC from my former faction, I may declare them an old ally. Choose and make 1 unmarked option from the list below instead of meeting someone important and roll. I am picking they were a loyal friend and dutiful servitor, roll with a +3.
Ooh.
It's a gamble, but I'm basically saying that he was there were a lot of things that helped Yasmin get out of the country, and I'm saying Little Petro was one of them. Are you okay with that?
I think that works. Let me just check to make sure. Let me just read the move over myself real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Where's our exile here? There we go. So,
Because it says I do pick which one, and I'm picking the one that gives me the +3.
right. Okay, and roll. All right. So let's see if it works.
Oh, it motherfucking worked. I've got a 13 on that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a 6 and a 4 on the die, and I get to add the +3, and their loyalty is not diminished. But maybe he thought I was dead this whole time.
Okay.
Certainly, you still recognize me. I have grown quite a bit since I was a kid.
So Petro, like, he tugs hard on the reins of his goat, which like rears up, slides in front of you, and then he's like, "Lady Fox, you should not be here." Wait, Yana, little one, you should not be here. Your family's enemies are still after you.
I know. But, I still must stop my aunt's corruption where I can.
He's like, "I have my orders. I have to scourge the hillside and destroy everyone. This is the first part of the invasion."
Perhaps you can share some of the details about the plan. I know you to be a good person, little Petro. I know that you do not willingly serve evil. I weep for the people of my nation.
I weep for them too, but I am a soldier. I follow the commands of the Tsarina.
I understand.
He's like, I should warn you. There are rumors that you are here. Your family's enemies. Or there is another who've been dispatched by the Bloody Baron. A lizard named Jacopo Draco. He might be on this hill somewhere, still seeking to claim your hide.
Then he is the one on whom I shall focus my fighting.
Little Yana, I worry what to do. We've already started the attack. Maybe you should run, but your friends, maybe they should run too. Otherwise, we'll have to claim this hill.
I would ask that you also spare the cat lady and her friends.
All right, I think we're gonna leave there. We get back to your.
Yeah, it's been a long conversation. I'm sorry.
Let's check in with Finn and then Seamus, because the battle's still raging around you. And Finn, you notice a reptilian form lurking in the shadows. Maybe somebody who's been kind of following you during some of your during the last bit of your journey. Sort of a monitor lizard hiding there in the shadows. I don't know if you heard about Jacopo Draco, but
depends on this lizard's description.
All right. Well, I would say he is targetable now if you want to. But there's also, we got one Ice Rider left and then one ear as well.
Well, what to do? I think I will actually so he's sort of like in the shadows, kind of. The lizard is in the shadows, kind of like I can see him, but he is sort of not really in the thing. So I would like to sort of sprint to him and just makes ungodly noise with my loot and try and confuse his senses.
All right,
sort of
nothing like blasting a lizard with pure sound.
Yes.
This is the confused senses move, I believe. Right?
Yes.
Okay, so for this special weapon move, go ahead and roll.
What am I adding to that?
You add your finesse with this one.
Okay. So it's only up one, but okay. Let's see. That's good. 6.
Ooh, All right, not good. So you rush over. You're getting you ready to strum your lute. Finn, what do you think messes you up?
Hmm. Yeah. I will say oh Jesus.
Could be like you trip on a root. You hit the you were out of tune. I don't know. Pops on your lute. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I would say like the noise starts, and then as it happening, like I slip and it ends prematurely, so it doesn't quite do as much as I was hoping.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that's just like Yeah, that just like messes up your wonderful entrance there. Draco just like he has a dagger and a sword. He has a dagger in his offhand, poignard, and he just like hooks that around around your neck. Gets the sword is there as well, and he's like, "Oh, little bird, I'll have you singing a different tune soon enough." And I'm afraid you're actually going to take one injury as he cuts into you a bit.
My voice.
Aha! Here I can use soften the blow.
Oh, okay. Seamus, how do you come in to help? And then you can go ahead and do a move of your own.
Because I am Finn's protector, I see him get, well, taken off his feet and trip, and see this one and hold him at knife point. I'm like, oh no, you don't. He's part of my band. Only I get to cut him when he does wrong. And I kind of like tackle, what's his name, Jacopo?
Jacopo Draco is his name.
Right. I tackle him.
All right, you and Draco smash down to the ground, and I think you're grappling him. Oh, though first, Finn, you get to remove that injury.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't even mark it.
All right.
And
good save by Seamus there.
Yeah.
also, oh, can I use the protector move? It's like, when they're in reach, mark exhaustion to take a blow meant for them. And if you do, take +1 ongoing to weapon moves for the rest of the scene.
Yes, that's what you're doing. So you take the exhaustion, Finn, you don't take the injury, and then Seamus, you get that +1.
Alright.
All right. Okay, so you smash into Draco. What are you doing now?
Yeah, I square up with them. Nah, if you want to fight, it's gonna be with me. Come on, bring your pretty hide to my axe.
All right, I think you're going for an engage in melee.
Yep.
All right, very
cool. Roll
the basic melee moves. You're rolling with might.
Righto.
Could I assist him?
No need. I got a 12.
Okay.
Ooh. All right, so
Also,
at
these.
12, you have to pick 3 from the bottom list of good things that happen.
Also, for the axe, I got 6 in value total. I gave it Stormer Group, large, and sharp, but it is weighty.
Okay, so large and sharp means it does extra harm.
If I mark where for sharp, I can do 1 harm. And then if I mark exhaustion when inflicting harm, it does an additional harm.
Okay, you're already doing 1 harm, and you could get extra harm, bonus harm, if you pick the inflict serious harm.
Well, yeah. I'm going to mark exhaustion to do 1 additional harm. I'm going to mark 1 wear on the axe to do another harm.
Okay, so we're on 2 harms so far. Or 3 harm. 3 harm.
And then I'm going to inflict serious harm.
Okay, so it's 4 harm.
Suffer little harm.
Okay, you don't take any harm from him.
And frighten them.
All right. I think you're gonna maim him somehow. Are you taking an eye out of him? Cutting off a limb? What do you think you're doing here? Taking off his tail?
Don't go for the tail; it grows back.
I don't think wander lizard tails grow back. So
whichever hand cut Finn, like whichever hand was wielding the weapon to cut Finn.
All right, I think that's his that's his poignard, his offhand, because he was stabbing with that one. I mean, he's ambidextrous. And yeah, you just take that, or how do you behand him?
Behand him?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's like he comes in for a stab, but Seamus is a lot faster with that axe than he expected, so sidestep. Cut off his hand.
Yeah, he just takes a step back. He's still not quite realizing it happens. Looks at the stump, lets out his forked tongue flickering madly. Then he turns around and starts running into the woods, just covering his bleeding stump as he hastens away.
That's right, run, you coward!
All right.
I want to do I mean, as he's running, I'm sort of strutting along and just sort of like, and the brave and the brave runs away, runs away, kind of.
Whoa! Adding an insulting song as he flees. Ooh.
I was trying to do a Monty-a-thon bit.
Oh, brave Sir Robin. All right, let's check back in with Kiva, who is still in the middle of this battle. You can see the Ice Riders are kind of like the Lady Speckles gang is holding their own, and they're starting to fall back, especially after that big explosion. What are you doing here? And then we'll check in on Lady Fox and bring this combat to a close, maybe.
So I feel like I'm kind of out in the open on the ground. My cloak, probably pretty easily seen. I think I want to essentially sort of sneak away from combat, out of danger, out of where I'm currently at, probably into the woods.
Hey, always a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll sneak. Attempt roguish feat, sneak.
Not good. That's a 6.
Ooh. Okay.
I probably couldn't help, could I?
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay. Let's see. I think as a consequence to this, one ear is going to take a shot at you with an arrow. And you're not wearing any armor, are you?
Nope.
All right, I think it's going to deal one more injury to you.
You said that it was who shot with an arrow? One of the
one of the Ice Riders.
Great. I am going to mark an exhaustion to move between her and the arrow.
Ooh. Okay.
Using my protector feat, and now I've got a +1 ongoing to weapon moves.
All right, very cool. So you pull that one off. How do you deflect the arrow, Lady Fox?
I mean, she just kind of knocks it out of the air with frostbite, but she has to kind of hustle so fast that it tires her out a little bit to get there, since it's an exhaustion rather than an injury.
Very cool. All right, Kiva, don't mark that.
And Lady Fox looks back towards you and goes, "Little one, run away. I mean, please move back into the forest."
Vigorously nods as she sort of scrambles to her feet and rushes towards the woods to hide.
All right, so little Petro, still looking at you, Lady Fox. He's like, maybe we have lost enough here. But I think we will go. But Lady Fox, but Diana, the war is coming. I think you need to pick a side, or one will be chosen for you.
My side is with the people of the Winterborn Dominion, but not. I've just remembered she speaks in the Russian accent with him. My side is with the people of the Winterborn Dominion, but not with my cruel aunt.
He says, that might be the wrong side. And with that, he turns his goat around, shouts a command, and the Ice Riders start galloping back down over the hill, pulling a retreat, leaving what's left of the outlaw camp alive and intact as they ride away into the forest. And from the hill, you can look down and you can see torches coming down through the woods, and you can make out Barley Brook. Flames are consuming a lot of the houses there. And you hear shouts and screams, and you know war has come to the Dark Forest yet again. And that is where we're going to end this first episode. So,
Exhilarating.
Oh man.
yeah, we'll be back next week. I think it'd be real quick for advancement in this game. There's those drives, which all you guys have 2 of them. Just looking through, did anybody fulfill one of those drives to gain an advancement?
I think Kiva did, because my drives are chaos, which
Okay.
is I advance when I topple a tyrannical or dangerously overbearing figure. But that's not what I'm invoking. I'm invoking thrills.
Uh-huh.
I advance when I escape from certain death or incarceration.
Yeah, I think you did that. There was some chaotic situations, not by your own. I think others helped you escape more than you, but yeah, you can go ahead and mark an advancement for that.
Hail thrills for one of my drives. So
Yeah, Finn, you also definitely escaped a life or death situation. Again, not do anything you did.
Nope.
But it's good to have friends. So
There was one thing that I really wanted to do that we didn't get to that goes with one of my drives, and I don't know if I can do it because I was going to declare it, but then you said the game was over.
okay, we can do it right at the beginning of the next session if you want.
Well, it involves the silver
Oh, okay.
because I wanted to take some of it.
Ooh, okay.
Read.
Let me just say a little bit of a spoiler alert. There's going to be kind of a mission that you'll have to undertake for the residents of Barley Brook in the next episode. So maybe the silver could come into play then. You could get the advancement that way. Is that something?
Yeah, it's just my advancement is revenge. Advance when you cause significant harm to my foe or their interests, and making sure that silver doesn't get through is a big part of that for her. But
Oh, okay.
I didn't get to do it because it ended, but that was something I was gonna bring up.
Okay. I think if you bring it up like first thing next session, is that something you would like to do, or would you rather just be kind of rewind and take care of it now? It's okay either way, I think.
I mean, I guess either way. It's just that was a thing that I really wanted to do, and I didn't get to do it.
Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and give me your plans for the silver. Maybe we'll kind of like, I'll give you the advancement now, perhaps, and you could like put it into practice next time.
Yeah, the main thing was to get as many of those, like, because she does have a really high might, and like in the tailing thing of the chaos, if the silver hadn't already been taken by the hares, her plan was to get at least one of those boxes. Because stealing money from her aunt is a big way of her aunt having no influence.
Right. Yeah, I think you definitely did that.
Okay.
Because I don't think, like, due to your defense, I don't think, like, the Ice Riders got any of the boxes.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can definitely mark an advancement for frustrating the plans.
Okay.
I mean, their plans were to kill Lady Speckles.
No. My plan was get the money so that it can't be given to buy influence.
Yes. That was the your aunt's plan was to kill Lady Speckles, so you frustrated that for sure, too.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess that's already happened. I'm sorry, I interrupted somebody else's advancement.
Yeah, no worries. So, yeah, you can go ahead and take the advancement.
Okay.
All right, well, so there was some, like, you guys did, I think, really amazing. There was, like, some great high rolls all the way through, and just some great role-playing, some great moments. Oh, Seamus?
Yeah, I didn't go over my drives.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. I don't think I actually did any of them. I got Chaos, advance when you topple a tyrannical or dangerously overbearing figure or order. I did cut off, what's his name, Jacobo Drago's arm. Don't know if he's like an overbearing figure.
I mean, he's a goon. He's not really a leader.
Yeah. And then I had Greed, advance when you secure a serious payday or treasure. Didn't really do that.
Let's see. I mean, I think if you start next session by like claiming some of that silver and taking it,
I do have a move specifically for that. Loot and plunder. When you loot a rich area for valuables, roll a finesse on a hit. Something out of the ordinary catches your eye. Claim it, and it's yours.
Ooh, okay. Do you want to do that now, or would you like to do that first thing next session?
Next session.
All right.
It's already
that'd be
past
lovely.
9.
I know we got a little. I think we're taking a break after this, so maybe like, I don't know. Mark, take a note somewhere that like that's the first thing you do. We'll take care of it.
Yeah, that's kind of part of why I didn't want to do things like to remember for next session, because I'm like, I'll forget.
Yeah.
Write
I
it down. Put it on your calendar.
Loot and plunder.
That never
Did
helps
Patrick
me.
finish his thing though? Or
Yeah,
not
I
Pat?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and did Nick finish his?
Well, yeah, I did. Basically, the other drive is not going to come into play because it's just when as I advance, I encounter a new wonder or ruin in the forest.
Oh, yeah.
So
And my other drive is also chaos, which is part of why Lady Fox immediately suggested, like, so we go back and we kill that guy because he's clearly a tyrant.
All right. Well, don't worry. Next time, plenty of opportunities to spread chaos.
Can I at least do the hero thing? Clear exhaustion when you outright attack a dangerous, suppressive, or villainous NPC?
Oh yeah, you definitely attacked a villainous NPC. So yeah, go ahead.
Alright, so I clear my exhaustion.
Oh, yeah,
It's
so
good because I had to.
yeah, I don't think I performed in front of a large attentive audience, but 'cause that's my nature is legend. Is I clear my exhaustion check when I put on a performance in front of a large attentive audience.
Yeah. I mean, they were attentive, but you did it like. Did you do that before or after you got the exhaustion?
Oh yeah, the exhaustion was from the all eyes on me. So
Yeah. So I don't know if it'll
Yeah.
work there. You got to perform again, but don't
Yeah.
worry. I'm sure you'll get a chance to.
Yeah, is that like the only way to cure exhaustion is meeting those?
I actually have something
No.
with my tools of the trade, which is part of my instrument is one of that I can mark for my instrument. Pleasant is when I perform for my band while traveling on a path, I can mark where to clear up to 2 additional exhaustion for each vagabond.
Oh, cool.
So
Okay, and Lady Fox, you can also just rest to clear exhaustion.
I figured it wasn't,
you know.
because her nature as Avenger, clear your exhaustion track when you openly attack those who have wronged you, but she didn't openly attack anybody who's wronged her in this one.
Yeah. Well, the rest is okay. So.
Yeah.
All right, don't worry. We got the Bloody Baron's gonna show up. Spoiler alert. Yeah, Baron Druganov, our evil vampire style Lynx. He's back in the good graces of the Winterborn Empire, the Winterborn Dominion now. He's helping him in the occupation, so he'll show up again. All right, and so that brings this session of the Dark Forest to a close. Our first session.
Yes,
Thank
welcome
you very much
back.
for joining me, guys.
Yeah, this is awesome. So we're not here next week. That's my fault. I'll be out of town, but this is a continued art form that we're going to do, the Dark Forest. And thanks again to Magpie for creating this system, the root system. We really like it when we took a peek at it. So we're back and we're playing it. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today. We'll be back at the same time on whatever channel you're watching on it. Thanks for hanging out and watching us. We'll be back very, very soon. But until then, you got to make sure and pull up a chair and make time to tabletop.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Do it.
Yeah, there's no choice anymore. We're watching you. We're watching you. All right. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.